A golden apple pie with buttery shortcrust pastry and autumn leaf decorations. Simple, warm, and perfect for autumn. Alright, let's bake. Here are the ingredients you will need, and I have linked the full recipe in the description box below if you would like to follow along. Making pastry might sound a bit intimidating, but it's actually very simple. Start by putting the flour, sugar, and salt into the food processor. Close the lid, turn it on, and give it a few short pulses, just enough to mix everything roughly. Then add the chilled butter and blend until the mixture turns a sand-like texture, almost like breadcrumbs. Finally, pour in the ice-cold water and pulse again until it comes together into a rough dough. Then lightly dust your work surface with flour. Gather the dough together. As you can see, I'm not kneading it, just gently pushing and pressing it until it comes together. Grab your kitchen scale and weigh the dough. Then divide it into 2 portions, one for the bottom of the pie and one for the top. Using a scale just helps me keep the portions even. Once you have divided the dough, flatten each piece into a disc, wrap them separately in cling film, and chill for about 30 minutes or until they are firm to the touch. The apple filling is a mix of Granny Smith and Jazz apples, but you can use any combination you like. Prepare a bowl of water to prevent the apples from browning once they are peeled. To make the filling, start by peeling the apples. I like to take my time with this part. There's something satisfying about revealing the fresh, crisp apple underneath, even if the peel doesn't always come off in one go. Next, quarter and core the apples, placing them back into the bowl as you work through all of them. Then slice the apples evenly. Once done, pour them into a colander, rinse briefly under tap water, and drain well to remove any excess moisture. Transfer the drained apples into a clean bowl and add lemon juice, caster sugar, and light brown sugar. Mix everything well to combine. Add ground cinnamon and nutmeg if you like a spiced flavor. This step is optional. The filling is delicious even without the spices. To enhance the flavor of the filling and prevent it from being too wet in the pie, we first collect the apple juice. Place a colander over a mixing bowl and pour in the apple slices. Cover with cling film and let them sit for about an hour. The juice will drain into the bowl, ready to be cooked to concentrate and thicken it for the filling. After an hour, you should have around 150 ml of apple juice collected in a bowl. Pour this into a saucepan, add corn flour and vanilla extract, and cook over medium heat, stirring constantly until thickened. Remove from the heat, add the salt, and mix well. The mixture should be thick and glossy, but still smooth enough to drip off the whisk. Let the mixture cool until warm, then combine it with the drained apple slices. Set aside to cool completely before assembling the pie. It already smells so warm and comforting. Sweet apples with a hint of spice. I can't wait to taste it later. Here I'm using a 9-inch pie dish for this apple pie. Unwrap one portion of the dough. It's chilled and firm, and I'm going to roll it out to about 12 inches in diameter. To do this, lightly dust the work surface and rolling pin with flour. Then start rolling it out gently. As you roll, keep turning the dough to stop it from sticking. Once it's about the right size, roll the dough loosely around the rolling pin to lift it, and carefully transfer it onto the pie dish. Gently press the dough into the base and sides so it fits nicely in the dish. Then trim off the excess, leaving about an inch of overhang around the edge. Gather the trimmings together with the second portion of dough. We will use them later for decoration. Finally, cover the dough with cling film and chill it in the fridge until it's ready to use. First, line the baking sheet with parchment paper. Then, same as rolling out the bottom crust, dust the work surface and rolling pin. Gently roll out the dough to about 3 mm thick. I'm cutting them into 3 cm wide strips using a ruler. I cut around 10, but you can adjust the number depending on your design. Once cut, carefully lay the strips neatly on the lined baking sheet. On top of the crisscross lattice pattern, I'm going to add the decorative leaves for a touch of autumn. To do this, gather the remaining dough, roll it out if needed, and cut out the decorations using leaf-shaped cookie cutters. Continue to create as many leaves as you want. Place the leaves on a lined baking tray and then chill both trays in the fridge until they are firm to the touch. Let's get the oven ready by preheating it to 200 degrees Celsius fan before we start assembling the pie. Also, prepare the egg wash by whisking the egg and milk until smooth. To assemble the pie, unwrap the chilled pie base and pour in the apple filling, spreading it evenly and arranging the slices flat so the layers look neat when you cut into the pie. To give the pie an extra richness, tuck the diced chilled butter in between. Once filled, time to decorate. Now bake the pie in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius fan for 20 minutes, then reduce the oven temperature to 180 degrees Celsius fan and bake for further 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Just look at that golden crust. The pastry leaves give it such a beautiful autumn touch, and the smell filling the kitchen is incredible. Buttery pastry, sweet spiced apple slices, all in one perfect mouthful. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. It's a pure comfort. I really loved making this apple pie. It's the kind of bake that fills your kitchen with the warm sense of apples and spices, perfect for sharing with family and friends. Don't forget to check the description box below for the full recipe. If you love comforting bakes like this apple pie, I'm sure you will enjoy this one too. Click the screen to explore. See you there!